Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the United Star. Today we have Ayush with us once again, and he's going to be picking his United 11. So the way we're going to do this is he's just going to be picking from the players that he's watched. So all the people who are going to be pissed off by the fact that there's no Roy Keane, or there's no Peter Schmeichel, or there's no York or Cole in the side. That's because basically we've not seen them, and by the time David Beckham also had left United by the time we started sort of watching it properly. So Ayush is going to pick the 11, and I'm going to throw some names at him and see what his reactions are. So take it away, Ayush. First with the goalkeeper, let me put you on the spot straight away. Van der Sar or De Gea?
Uh, I got to go with Van der Sar. De Gea is obviously a brilliant choice too. He's done well for United, but at the end of the day, we've won a lot more with Van der Sar in goal. He still holds the record, or now the second highest for the longest time longest time not conceding a goal. So it's really hard to argue not taking Van der Sar.
Right. I
Uh,
think we had a previous debate on this channel, and I think I had gone De Gea. So I think I'd have to say that David De Gea is. Do you think David De Gea is a better keeper, and you're choosing Van der Sar based on emotion to some extent?
yeah, definitely. There's emotion. He's a Champions League winner, back-to-back Premier Leagues. It's incredible.
But yeah, I guess we're splitting hairs between both of them as they both are incredible. So yeah, I'd go along with Van der Sar if you want to Van der Sar. And yeah, who's on your back four? I think it picks itself.
Yeah, the back four is really easy. Right back has to be Gary Neville, captain of United for a while, uh, winner of the Champions League and the Premier League multiple times. Then the two centre backs is the easiest pick possible. There is Vidic and Ferdinand, and then left back Patrice Evra again. It's basically the
I
Champions League
think
winning side.
yeah. I think it's great because also you're picking the back four that essentially was our best back four, and you could argue that the best centre back pairing the Premier League has ever seen. And all
Yeah.
four of them were also captains at some point. So I mean,
Mhm.
obviously they were great leaders as well. So I don't think you can argue. But would you consider someone like Raphael as a right back? Because I don't think I can take anyone's name at centre back to replace Vidic Ferdinand and at left back for Patrice Evra. But I think Raphael and Valencia maybe at right back. These two players did well, but you think yet Neville gets in above them, and why?
Neville definitely gets in above them. They've done well. They've also won the Premier League and they've given a lot to United. They've stepped up when needed. But at the end of the day, they were never as experienced as Neville. They haven't performed at the level that Neville did. Defensively speaking, Neville is far superior than the other two. Valencia
Hmm.
definitely had a lot more going forward. But as a defensive, when we have so many more attacking players up front and we need a more defensive right back, I would definitely go for Gary Neville.
Right. I mean, I'd agree with you in that. I think Raphael's a great player. He's a good player, but Guy Neville's legendary. He is
Exactly, yeah.
he's incredible, and I think the back four would gel well. So I wouldn't want to take them apart either. So I think they fit themselves, like you said. And yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think what formation are you going to play then? So you've got back four. So what are you going to do
4-4-2. It's been the classic United formation.
then? Right.
So for that reason, I have
Right.
to go with that one.
Okay. So then I think the who would you play as your two central midfielders?
Uh, so the easiest pick is Paul Scholes. He's been one of the greatest passers the game has ever seen. Uh, Praises from all players of all statures. He's been incredible. The other one was a other centre midfielder was a slightly trickier option. I was torn between Darren Fletcher and Michael Carrick, but I go for Michael Carrick
Hmm.
because he has a lot more. He has a better vision, and Paul Scholes plays a more defensive midfielder role, whereas Michael Carrick
Hmm.
can move up a little better. So
Right. I think Michael Carrick can also sit and Paul Scholes can also move forward and pick those passes. I think they complement each other well, and I'm so
yeah,
glad that you mentioned Darren Fletcher as well because he often goes underrated and he came back from such a severe injury and he performed brilliantly. So I think Darren Fletcher goes underrated, but no mention of the Paul Pogba, the most expensive signing for United sometime.
yeah, I'm sure it'll hurt a few people to not hear Pogba's name, but he's not done anything for United yet. There is no reason. Like on talent,
Right.
sure, he is there in the most talented list of 11 players United seen, but
Right.
he has to first do win a Premier League. He's got to win some trophies, perform, score some more goals, do something to be included in
But do you,
United's
but
11.
but do you think with Scholes and Carrick we'd be a little short of speed in the middle of the park?
Uh, Even if we are short in the middle of the park, we've got plenty of speed in the rest of the positions where it won't matter as much. And Scholes, with the kind of vision he has, speed was never an issue for him. When you're able to pick a pass 80 yards away, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you are.
Yeah, yeah, that's I think that's quite true. I think both Carrick and Scholes had 5 yards in their head. I think, which
Yeah,
others didn't. So you said that you were picking pacey right and left players. I think they're obvious choices. So are you going with Ronaldo on the right and Giggs on the left? Then?
absolutely. There's no one else that you could even consider above these two. Ronaldo, probably the greatest player the world has seen, unarguably Premier League's top three player.
Hmm.
Giggs has won the Premier League 13 times. There is no argument to
Right,
not pick him.
right. I mean, I can't even think of a right wing or a left mid to propose to you that would go into the team above that. Giggs is probably the first player to enter a Premier League Hall of Fame, and Cristiano Ronaldo is probably the second best player the world has ever seen. And at United, he was the best player for like 3 years. And yeah, there's nothing we can do. And the free kicks he scored and things like that are just absolutely incredible. I think there's also a theme in the team you're picking till now. All of these players you're picking, not only were they great players, but like we've had some incredible memories and
Absolutely.
not one of them is post Ferguson era. So I think that says a lot about how far we've fallen and how little we've had to celebrate since that. I think let's move to the strikers. Let's move to the strikers. That's I think a tough choice. Let me give you some names. You've got Wayne Rooney, Robin van Persie, Carlos Tevez, Berbatov, Rashford, Martial. Are you considering the likes of Chicharito? Maybe are you considering these or who are your front two?
So the first of the front two has to be Wayne Rooney. He's United's top scorer of all time. He's won everything, done everything. So he has to be there. The other one was a slightly trickier. I was torn a little bit between um, Robin van Persie and Berbatov. Berbatov was part
Mm-hmm.
of a Champions League winning squad, whereas Robin van Persie came into United and just after we lost the title marginally to City on goal difference, he came and helped us win the Premier League for a 20th time.
Right.
So between these two, it's really hard for me to pick. So I've relied on statistics where the Dimitar Berbatov has scored 56 goals for United in 149 games, whereas Van Persie has scored 58 goals for United in 105 games. So because of his goal ratio and just purely scoring more goals, I
Right.
have to pick Percy.
Right. So, okay, you're going with Van Persie on the basis of 1.5 seasons. You're right, he won us the 20th championship and everything, but 1.5 seasons. So you're justifying it on the basis of a goal almost every second game, which obviously is incredible for a striker. But 1.5 season, do you think is enough to judge a player and be in an all-time United 11 that you see?
Uh, so the question basically is about the other options that we have. Berbatov, he wasn't at United that much longer. He was at United from 2008 to 11 or 12. Um, and the difference in games overall they played for United is not like Van Persie played 105 games for United, whereas uh, Berbatov played 149 games for United.
Right. So, but I would make a little far right choice that a lot of United fans won't be happy with and put Tevez in because I think Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez is the greatest combination we've had. But I know a lot of United fans don't like this and they're going to probably come at me for this. But I really think watching the three of them again would be a dream come true. But yet, this is your team, so I'm going to let you have Van Persie there. So your 11 is, as I understand, a 4-4-2 with Van der Sar in goal and Ferdinand and Vidic as the defense centre back, and Neville on the right, Evra on the left, Carrick and Scholes in the middle of the park, Ronaldo and Giggs pick themselves, Wayne Rooney picks himself, and then Van Persie and Rooney up top. But I also wanted to do something interesting. Do you think I'd like you to pick three substitutes on the bench. So these are not necessarily players who are incredible, but these are players whom you'd want to bring on from the bench. So do you have three of these in mind? Do you think that you want any three?
So when we talk about super subs, we've had a fair share of super subs that have come on in crucial moments and scored the match-winning goals and been brilliant for United.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, if I'm to pick a keeper, it has to be De Gea. There's no question there.
Okay.
Um, a super sub in terms of goal scoring ability in the most crucial minutes when he comes on for plays 10 minutes in a game. Chicharito.
I think he scored 14 or 15 goals in one of the seasons, and just by coming off. So yeah, Chicharito picks himself, I'd say.
Yeah. Especially considering all these players played for Alex Ferguson in an era when United went down in the 20 when we won the 20th league title. We were down almost in 20 games and we came back to win them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So in games like this, the role of super subs have been enormous. These
Right.
Hernandez, Chicharito has done a
And
phenomenal.
what would you say? What would you say? I pick the third. Let me pick the third player for you. I'd say Ji-sung Park. I think Ji-sung Park is one of the most underrated players at United. You put him in a Champions League game and he was Ronaldo-esque almost. He'd do a job for you. He was hardworking. He was determined. He wasn't flamboyant or flashy, but I think Park is one of the most underrated players we had at United. What do you think? Would you go with him?
Um, if we're talking from the point of a super sub, not really. He was, but I can't argue with you that he's an underrated player. He's been a big match player for Ferguson. For any important match, Ferguson would start him. One of the most
Right.
incredible box-to-box midfielders we've had. He's all over the field, running where needed. One of
Man
the highest work
marking,
rate players we've had.
man marking as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So
So
in a big
so
game,
I let you have
yeah,
I let you have Van Persie. I'm gonna take Park. I think I'm gonna
that's
take
fair.
Park here.
Yeah, I can't
So
argue
so we
with
have yeah. So we have De Gea, Park, and Chicharito on the bench. De Gea just because we need a keeper on the bench, I guess, and I don't want to leave De Gea out of the squad anyway. So we'd have him on the bench, and manager obviously there's no question that of course David Moyes would be the manager of this team. Uh, yeah, so Alex, of course, is the manager, and we've got, I think, a pretty good team. And like I said, it says a lot that there are no players from the current generation, and we've missed some very good players like the likes of Welbeck and Lingard and Pereira. But unfortunately, they didn't make the cut. You
they were never going to make the cut. They've got a long way to go.
So that's our 11. We've got Van der Sar, Vidic, Ferdinand, Evra, Neville, Scholes, Carrick, Ronaldo, Giggs, Rooney, Van Persie, and then the three subs we've had is David De Gea, Chicharito, Park, G. Sanj, and of course the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson managing the team. And we'd win the Premier League is in the tunnel, as it was often said about that United team. So thank you, Ayush, for joining us. I think we've created a solid team and brought back some incredible memories. Hopefully, we'll have more players to pick from in the current generation when we do this 3 or 4 years down the line. Maybe Bruno and Maguire will at least make a shout for it, and Rashford too. So
Hopefully, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
So guys,
hoping that in another 5 years we'll have difficulty picking the players and they won't pick themselves.
hopefully. So, guys, let us know what you all think about this. If you all like our 11, what do you all think? Please like the video, comment on it, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you all soon with another video. Thank you, Ayush.